So let me give way to Carter, who will tell you a little bit more about Gates House.
Do you want to talk about the transition from being the Christian education and Sunday school thing into being, I mean, I don't really know.
I don't know either.
Well, all I know is that probably in the let's see, maybe 66, 67, when I would have been 15, 16 years old, this building was sort of being, I don't know, it was sort of a transitional period apparently, because I think Esther Ewell had either moved out or died or something, and I'm not sure what was the story with the janitor, but a number of kids my age, 15, 16, started hanging out here, and I guess it was just open to us, and, well, I mean, it probably wasn't intentionally open. We started hanging out here, and, you know, we'd spend time here, we'd go over to the laundromat and hang out there, we'd go to Bob's Restaurant, which is now C.J. Arthur's, and he was very good to us, and we'd hang out there. Around the corner, where there's a bank now, there was a record store called Paul's Recorded Music, and he had listening booths in there, and he was very much of a mentor to all of us, allowing us to fritter away our youth hours there listening to music and sundry other things. But yeah, what I remember about this house is that it was really a broad, wide, gray, rambling edifice, you know, with porch, with a big, broad porch, a central staircase that came up, and then all these interior rooms. You know, I remember being in this kind of octagonal sunroom over here in the rear, and then it had a laundry porch off the back, seemingly on this side, the I don't know what that would be, the east side, I guess, and a central staircase, because these two apartments, or not a central staircase, but divided staircase. So in any event, we started hanging around there, and I guess at some point there was a covenant made with the church and whomever, because they proceeded to hire a biracial couple, which was kind of unusual. But anyways, this Michael Dunn, who was the black man in the couple, and Lee Gallery came to kind of keep an eye on all of us, and they lived upstairs, and so then so there'd be scores of kids showing up every day, and it attracted people from a long ways away, neighboring suburbs, and we'd hang out in here, and we'd hang out in the parking lot, we'd go down to the beach, or we'd go over to the village, or whatever. And in the lower level, in the basement, there was a leather shop at one time, there was a ceramic studio at one time, there was all kinds of kooky stuff going on there. There was a pool table, I guess, in this room, and there was, at some point or another, we got some cable spools, you know, those big wooden rolling cable spools that they put telephone wire on, maybe from the Illinois Bell office over there by the railroad tracks on 12th Street. So we had those out in the backyard, and I managed to be rolling down one time, and I fell through a slat and broke my arm, trying to be a circus performer or something like that. And my brother says that we had a couple in the living room here where we'd play whist and euchre and who knows what else, poker I'm sure. And so it just was a real good hangout for all of us for probably 3 or 4 years, and I think it then kind of transitioned into younger kids that were coming up as we kind of maybe left our family homes and moved on or found some other greener pastures in this place. But in any event, it was a wonderful, big, broad place. And another thing to know, I don't know how many of you lived here for very long, but until about maybe 10 years ago, there was a very similarly sized, broad house across the street, across 11th Street, which was kind of colloquially called the Holmes House, because it was apparently occupied at least at one time or another by this Dr. Holmes, who was featured so prominently in The Devil in the White City book about the Columbian Exposition, and he was kind of a mass murderer type, and he had some properties on the down on the south side of the city, and apparently he also was up across the street from this house, Gates House, in that house across there, and it similarly, as I say, was a big, broad, rooming kind of house. They had a bigger footprint, I think, as property goes over there, and maybe those two brick buildings, and then that one to the left of them are occupying that space now. But this was a pretty big sized lot, as you can imagine, because it ran from, I guess, that new addition over by the church all the way over to the parking lot, the Burmeister parking lot fence, and then all the way back from 11th Street to Wilmette Avenue, 10th Street. And as I say, the garage is probably where your glass enclosed front door is, so there's quite a bit of property going all the way back there, and of course the Depot restaurant and stuff was not back there. So I think this fence line ran all the way to Wilmette Avenue.
Because that sunroom would be about where we're sitting now, only down there below, wouldn't it be, sir?
Yeah.
On the north side of the building.
Yeah. So that's my input.
Well, wasn't there a lot of music and noise at this gate where your kids were?
Music, noise? Well, we were rambunctious, long-haired hippie kids.
This is the early 70s,
There
remember?
was probably smoke and noise and music too, Mom.
I hadn't heard it was very noisy.
Well, we did have a stereo room, which I pictured here, was kind of a closet. And we went through a number of stereos, as some of our more delinquent members would take them and rip us off within the community. But no, I mean, it was the 60s, Mom, and there was a lot going on. So you get 20 or 30 long-haired kids together with a lot of time on their hands.
Did the police ever get called or anything like that?
Well, yeah, the police kept a pretty good eye on us, but I don't remember. I mean, I remember, yeah, there were some cops that we were sort of wanted to steer clear of because we'd be all sitting up here in the parking lot on these parking bumpers, you know, and maybe making a liquor run out to Yuba, you know, if we found somebody who was 21. And, you know, they'd come along and we'd scurry back inside the property line and kind of act like we were doing nothing, you know. Who, us?
That was a very conservative community at that time.
Pardon me?
Well, that was very conservative.
Yeah, but this church was out front, you know. I mean, I think, yeah, if you went back in the police reports and stuff, you'd probably find that there was a little controversy about this place, and I'm sure it was frowned on by a lot of people, but it was a supervised environment, in quotation marks. So we had good people looking after us, and.
When did that period, was that come in the early 70s?
Well, I think of it as the later 60s, because as I say, I was born in 53, so in, 68 I was 15, 69 I was 16, and like that. So, and I remember going down to the convention, the Democratic convention in 68, I guess, when I was a 15-year-old, being rousted out of there. But anyhow, that's my input from this perspective. Mother can now maybe take it back. Yeah.
Now, looking at this staid and conservative demeanor, when did you put all this behind you?
Well, I think there's a rub in there now. No, I still have fond memories, and I carry them with me. Nothing you say or do will take them now. So Mom can maybe take over now. We already talked about the transition from this edifice to the edifice we're sitting in.
I have a few clippings